Just gotta make sure that I am live. So let's see here. I really need to make an intro or something for the beginning of the show. We are live. Hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history? Well, I guess his microphone is not working, a historical calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else we gather throughout the show, check the underbar. Anyway, I am Aoxander. And that is the ever-silent Lunk. Today is Tears Day, also known as Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. In the year 106, the start of the Bostron era, the calendar of the province of Arabia Pteria initiated. Well, that's pretty cool. Moving on up to 235, Roman Emperor Severus Alexander was murdered, marking the start of the crisis of the 3rd century. Ooh, I gotta look that up real quick. I have nothing but time waiting for people to show up to join. The crisis of the 3rd century, also known as military anarchy or the imperial crisis, was a period in which the Roman Empire nearly collapsed. It ended due to the military victories of Aurelian and with the ascension of Diocletian and his implementation of reforms in 284, including the Tetrarchy. And what is the Tetrarchy? We'll see. We get to learn something on top of learning something. The Tetrarchy was a system instituted by Roman Emperor Diocletian in 293 to govern the ancient Roman Empire by dividing it between two senior emperors, the Augusti, and their juniors and designated successors, the Caesars. This marked the end of the crisis of the 3rd century. Alright. Already gathering links here. Moving on up to... Oh, there you are.
I wasn't ready. I was in the middle of something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yep.
I'll be back in 10.
Alright. Moving on up to 871, Ethelred of Wessex was defeated by a Danish invasion army at the Battle of Martin. Jumping on up into the first thousands in 1185, the Battle of Yashima, in which the Japanese forces of the Taira clan were defeated by the Minamoto clan. About 100 some odd years later, in 1312, Vox in Excelso, Pope Clement V dissolved the Order of the Knights Templar. Ooh, that's a big thing in history right there. Jumping up to 1508, Ferdinand II of Aragon commissioned Amerigo Vespucci chief navigator of the Spanish Empire. Oh, that's really interesting. Amerigo Vespucci obviously being the person whose namesake was used to name America. Amerigo. Jumping up into 1621, the Pilgrims of Plymouth Colony signed a peace treaty with Massasoit of the Wampanoags. 1 year later, in 1622, the Jamestown Massacre occurred, in which Algonquins murdered 347 English settlers around Jamestown, Virginia, which was a third of the colony's population during the Second Anglo-Powhatan War. Yeah, well, you know, can't blame them. We came here without their consent. They helped us survive the winter, and then we turned around and killed them, and then manifest destinied them, and all the other stuff that we still do to them to this day. In 1631, the Massachusetts Bay Colony outlawed the possession of cards, dice, and gambling tables. Ooh. Yeah, well, all that does is make black markets and underground, things, so, 7 years later, in 1638, Anne Hutchison was expelled from Massachusetts Bay Colony for religious dissent. In 1739, Nader Shah occupied Delhi in India and sacked the city, stealing the jewels of the Peacock Throne. Well, that's not nice. Let me check out the Peacock Throne here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to real quickly add these into the underbar so I don't lose them. So give me 1 second. Boop, and boop. Alright, those are added. What is the peacock throne? Let's look at this. That is a very ornate throne. Wow. Well, yep, I can see the holes where the jewels used to be. Well, you can't cry too much when something was made out of complete solid gold. Oh no, our extravagance on top of our wealth, our luxuries. Oh, boo-hoo. Pardon me. Moving on up to 1765, the British Parliament passed the Stamp Act that introduced a tax to be levied directly on its American colonies. Yeah, we saw how well that went, and right now, the people of this nation and of this world are getting really sick and tired of the Red Shield and all of their shenanigans, the Rothschilds. Yep. Moving on up to 1794, the Slave Trade Act of 1794 banned the export of slaves from the United States and prohibited American citizens from outfitting a ship for the purpose of importing slaves. Good. They don't teach you about that in school, huh? How convenient. Moving on up to 1829, in the London Protocol, the three protecting powers, the United Kingdom, France, and Russia, established the borders of Greece. 20 years later, in 1849, the Austrians defeated the Piedmontese at the Battle of Novara. Jumping on up to 1871, in North Carolina, William Woods Holden became the first governor of a United States state to be removed from office by impeachment. Ooh. Hey, yikes. I wonder what he did. What did he do? What did William Woods Holden do? Let me look that up real quick. What did this guy do? Let's see here. Well, if you want to look it up yourself, because there's a whole history here, and I'm not going to look this up, but I'm going to add this to the underbar. Moving on up into 1873, that's the date traditionally in which the Muffin joins the channel. But aside from that, the Spanish National Assembly abolished slavery in Puerto Rico. Oh, nice. Very nice. And yes, Mr. Keogh, I did notice your entry. Welcome, welcome. 1894, the Stanley Cup ice hockey competition was held for the first time in Montreal, Canada. And my dad actually saw the Stanley Cup in real life. It was actually just next door. Back when the general manager of the Mighty Ducks at that time lived right next door to us. So, we have a picture of that. 2 years later, in 1896, Charialos Vasilikolos won the first modern Olympic marathon race with a time of 3 hours and 18 minutes. 1 decade later... Oh, hello, Muffin.
Hello.
How you doing?
Just tired as hell, but okay.
So the usual same old, same old.
Yeah, more so than other days, but yeah.
Yeah, man, you're so tired. You're not a bicycle. You're a tricycle. Hell.
My tire's flat.
Oh no, that's not
tired.
good. Better pump that up. You want to take 1906 here?
Okay. 1906, the first England versus France rugby union match is played by Parrot Dis Princess in Paris.
Interesting.
These French names, bro.
Those French. 7 years later, in 1913, Mystic Fan Zichlong, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Vietnam, was arrested for organizing a revolt against the colonial rule of French Indochina, which was nevertheless carried out by his supporters the following day. Yep. Sometimes cutting the head off the snake doesn't work. You know?
Well.
Sometimes it's a hydra.
Anyways, in 1960, we got Yan Shikai Abdic. Wait, is that the right word?
Abdicates. Abdication, as in, like, surrendering.
Okay, anyways, abdicates as Emperor of China, restoring the Republic and returning to presidency.
Yep. 4 years later, in 1920, Azeri and Turkish army soldiers, with participation of Kurdish gangs, attacked the Armenian inhabitants of Sushi, which is Nagorno-Karabakh. Oh, man, what are they doing against raw fish? They're attacking. Why?
Yeah, man, some raw fish is pretty good, but I don't know.
Yep.
Probably tree huggers.
Beware the fugu.
Yeah. It was in 1933. You got Collin-Harris Act, which is President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs an amendment to the Volstead Act, legalizing the manufacture of sales of 3.2 beer, which is 3.2% alcohol by weight, approximately 4% by volume, and light wines.
Oh man, that's not even half of the alcohol content I drink.
I mean, the beer I drink is 1% more than what it is now, but
I'm at like 8.6%.
oh, that's high.
I'll be drinking that Belgian IPA stuff.
That's
Yeah, it'd be good. Like, if you ever heard of it, Voodoo Ranger.
Beer, much like coffee, is not good unless you can chew it. So,
Well, you can't chew liquid bread.
yeah, you can if it's strong enough. You know, have you ever had like IPAs? Those things are like a loaf crammed into a bottle. You know.
Like it.
Well, yes, I'm officially here.
Welcome as well. You want to take the second 1933 here?
Yeah, I'll take the second 1933.
Oh, it's a bad one though.
Wait, second?
Yeah, there's two 1933s.
Yeah, this one's kind of bad.
Yes, the Germany one.
Did Nazi Germany open its first concentration camp in Dachau? Dachau?
Dachau, the first concentration camp. Yep. Yeah. 1933. Man, like, you know.
It's like you never actually hear Dachau more than you hear of Auschwitz.
Yep. 1 year later, in 1934, the first Masters tournament was held at Augusta National Golf Club in Georgia.
That's cool, but golf is kind of boring for me.
Golf really is like a useless sport. Like, it's the largest playing field with the smallest ball, and you try to get as little points as possible. Everything about it is backwards. What the hell?
Yeah, it's always negative.
Yeah.
Anyways, in 1939, we got German takes Memel from Lithuania.
Yeah.
I like to pronounce it that way. I don't know why.
Well,
Lithuania.
At least it's not as bad as Agenda.
Yeah. I don't know.
In 1942, during World War II, within the Mediterranean Sea, the Royal Navy confronted Italy's Regia Mariana in the Second Battle of Sirte. Sirte.
No, Second World War. You want me to take this one?
Whoever. Somebody.
Okay. In 1943, you got in another World War II, the entire village of Kayat or whatever.
Katian.
Kayatan.
I was about to say the Kaitan, but no, it's not Kaitan.
Yeah. And the present day is Republic of Belarus.
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 Oh, Belarus.
Yeah. Is burnt alive by that's twisted freaking word. What's a man scuffed platoon in 118 platoon people.
Battalion 118. And,
I like to say platoon.
And the phonetic pronunciation of that is unfortunately Schutzmannschaft. Manshaft. Uh-oh. Schutzmannschaft. Shut the manshaft. Shut it! Shut it!
Shut the manshaft off a platoon.
118 times. 2 years later, in 1945, the Arab League was founded when a charter was adopted in Cairo, Egypt.
Go Cairo.
That's interesting.
What also happened in
1940? Also in 1945, World War II, the city of Hildesheim, Germany, is heavily damaged by a British air raid. Through it had little military significance, and Germany was on the verge of the final defeat.
Flat.
Talk about kicking somebody's teeth in when their teeth are gone. You know?
Kicking someone when they're down.
Yeah. Dude, why do the zombies in Left 4 Dead curb stomp you? What the hell?
I don't know.
Moving it up into
You gotta
19...
open your head up one way or the other.
Yeah, I guess so. They need those brains. You know.
Bro.
Moving on up into 1960, Arthur Leonard Schawlow and Charles Hard Towns received the first patent for a laser. Stop laughing at my muffin mouth. I can hear you. I feel the disturbances, the wibble wobbles.
Wow.
I can sense your amusement.
In 1963, we got the Beatles released their debut album, Please Please Me, Baby. No, not the baby part, but...
My goodness.
Me.
Mr. Lunk, I haven't heard your voice in a minute. Why don't you take 72 here?
Recently, I was hearing my voice, so I was concentrating on holding a huge burden, but,
Oh, let it out.
Eisenstadt Feebar, the United States Supreme Court says that unmarried persons have the right to possess contraceptives.
The universes? That really caught me off guard. What the fuck? The universes? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Also in 1972, the U.S. Congress sent the Equal Rights Amendment to the states for ratification.
Anyways, in 1975, this one's one interesting one. A fire at the Browns Ferry nuclear power plant in Decatur, Alabama, caused a dangerous reduction in the cooling water levels.
Yeah, we almost had a
explosion.
No, not an explosion, but a meltdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or something like that. Yeah.
Well, a meltdown, that's not necessarily an explosion. That just means things are so hot it literally liquefies. And the reason why that's such a bad thing is because radiation leaks. If it melts down enough, it can get into the water table. It can pollute the entire localized environment, extending to the whole world. Like, Chernobyl, they actually had a bunch of coal miners or something dig under the reactor and build an underneath cocoon to hold the radiation from seeping into the groundwater. Otherwise, it would have gone all over Ukraine. And potentially like the Adriatic Sea or whatever. I think it's the Adriatic Sea, right? And then by extension, that connects to the rest of the world, and we could have had a global, nuclear catastrophe. So, moving on up into 1978, Carl Walanda of the Flying Walandas fell off a tightrope suspended between two hotels in San Juan, Puerto Rico, dying upon impact. Sucks.
Oh, fuck.
That's why you always have nets.
Yep.
What are we on now?
82.
1982.
1982. NASA Space Shuttle Columbia was launched from the Kennedy Space Center for STS-3, its third mission.
Cool.
Anyways, 1988, my bad. The U.S. I can't speak. The United States Congress voted to override President Ronald Reagan's veto of the Civil Rights Restoration Act of 1987.
And the Civil Rights Restoration Act of 1987, or Grove City Bill, was a United States legislative act that specified that specifies that recipients of federal funds must comply with civil rights laws in all areas, not just in a particular program or activity that received federal funding. that was ultimately passed. Why was he against it? Well, then again, with how things are today, I'd be against everything with labels like this because, yeah. So.
Oh, we want respect.
RESPECT. 4 years later, in 1992, U.S. Air Flight 405 crashed shortly after takeoff from New York City's LaGuardia Airport, leading to a number of studies into the effect what that ice has on aircraft. And that seems a little late, you know? You think they would have figured out ice on aircraft, like, in 1912? You know?
Yeah, way earlier.
Yeah.
I think technology, it wasn't that too good. Probably back in the day, and now, since it's better, I mean, that's the only logical solution I can think of, but...
Yeah, but ice has always been a problem. Like, not just for aircraft, but for ships, cars, anything mechanical. You put it into a different environment of extreme, be it hot or especially cold, it will behave differently. I mean, hell, ovens operate differently at different elevations, you know? You'd think that the designer of something in 1992 would have something this simple in mind. That just seems odd to me.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Also, in 1992, the Democratic Party of Albania won a decisive majority in the parliamentary elections, causing the fall of communism in Albania.
Hey, look at that.
At least
Yeah.
this Democratic Party is a lot better than communism, but...
Well, that's where communism comes from. The Democrats, the left, the liberals.
Yeah, but I think communism is a little worse than that shit.
Definitely, so is fascism, but it all stems from something,
Yeah.
Jumping up into 1993, the Intel Corporation shipped the first Pentium chips, 80596, featuring a 60 MHz clock speed, 100 plus MIPS, and a 64-bit data path. Whatever that means.
Megahertz clock speed at 100 plus MIPS at 64-bit data path, which is pretty good, actually.
All I hear is internet noise.
Yeah.
That's all I hear whenever people start talking computer components to me. Might as well speak Korean or something,
Also, in 1995, cosmonaut Valery Polakov returned to Earth after setting a record of 438 days in space.
It's a long time in space.
It's a little over a year.
Quite a bit over a year. 365 versus 438. So, 35 plus 38, 63. It's like a year and 63 days or something like that. Somewhere in there. It's a long time. I wonder, how bad they were atrophied, Because without gravity, your bones lose density. You can exercise and maintain muscle mass, but, your bones, things, you're not being pushed down, So you start drifting apart. Like a dying amoeba.
Dying amoeba.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that time lapse of a single cell organism dying? It actually is kind of disturbing.
Sounds pretty weird.
Yeah. Who wants 97 here?
1997, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
first
two of them.
one.
Okay,
Yeah, first.
1997, Tara Lempinski becomes the youngest women's world figure skating champion at 14 years and 9 months old.
Dang.
Huh. Anyways, the second 1997 here, we got the Comet Hale Boop. Boop? Yeah,
Haley Bop.
Haley Bop Boop. Anyways, reaches the closest approach to Earth at 1.315 AU, which is probably astronomical units.
Yeah, 1.3. Come on. 1.315 astronomical units. is 1.22237 plus 8 miles, whatever the hell that means. It's a long distance away. Moving on up into 2004, Ahmed Yassin, the co-founder and leader of the Palestinian Sunni Islamist group Hamas, was murdered in the Gaza Strip along with 2 bodyguards and 9 innocent civilians when they were hit by multiple Israeli Air Force Hellfire missiles. Israel, what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously.
They don't give 2 dimes on the floor.
You know, you can't sit there and claim to be a victim while simultaneously bombing somebody else. You know? Come on. And then again, the Holocaust. You know?
Yeah.
Always hide behind that.
Anyways, we got 2012, one iconic, or only iconic year, I will say. A big hype during the time. Anyways, during the Great Recession in Europe, Ireland?
It's a misspelling.
Yeah, Ireland?
Yep.
Yeah. They returned the recession after a 0.2% decline in gross domestic product in the fourth quarter of 2011.
Man, that's like no decline at all, and they got kicked right back into the bucket. That sucks. A 0.2% decline, and you re-enter recession. Ay, ay, ay.
Lovely.
Who wants this last one here?
In 1997 or 2004?
2020.
2020, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the country's largest ever self-imposed curfew in an effort to fight the spread of the Kung Flu Greece. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis did the same as well as imposed a lockdown.
Yep.
Moody.
Any articles, intrigue you today?
Not really.
Same.
I'm gonna have to go with what was that from earlier? Yeah, the fire at the nuclear power plant almost causing a meltdown. That's rather alarming. Where did the other one go? I forgot. Well, the patent for a laser is pretty interesting.
Laser.
And I can't seem to remember what it was that intrigued me earlier. But anyway, let's get into births and deaths here. Who wants to start us off?
Be a hard of the hell time to start this one off right here.
Alright, well, I'll take this one. In 841, we have Bernard Planta Pilosa, Frankish son of Bernard of Septimania.
I thought it was Saitama for a second.
Saitama!
I can take this next one here.
Do it.
In 1367, we got Thomas D. Mowbray, first Duke of Norfolk, English politician. He was an Earl Marshal of the United Kingdom.
Did you call him Thomas?
Thomas.
Marshal.
Earl Marshal.
You're a Marshal.
Mowbray?
You're a Marshal.
Thomas. No, I said Thomas.
Thomas.
1684, William 21st Earl of Bath, English politician who was a secretary at war.
1720, Nicholas Henry Jardin was born on this date. He was a French architect who designed the Yellow Palace and Bernstorff Palace. And I'm not sure if I've looked these guys up, but they look a little familiar. That definitely is a Yellow Palace.
In 1797, William I, German Emperor.
These are kind of boring palaces, but okay. Yeah, Wilhelm I, yeah.
I'll be back.
Alright, 1808, we have Caroline Norton, an English feminist, social reformer, and author.
Oh. Anyways, we got 1814. We got Thomas Crawford, American sculptor who designed the Statue of Freedom.
The Statue of Freedom, I believe, is the statue that is atop the dome on the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Moving on up to 1817, we have Braxton Bragg, an American general. Not to brag or anything,
Interesting last name, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Anyways, 1 year later, we got 1818. We got John Answorth, Horrocks. I think I pronounced his name right. Probably not. Horrocks.
That sounds like a very bad case of kidney stones, but okay.
Probably. I mean, it's English Australian explorer who founded Penworthium.
Yep. 1822, we have Ahmed Kevdet Pasha, an Ottoman sociologist, historian, scholar, statesman, and jurist. What a resume.
Pretty big resume you got there, man. I thought it was Justin Timberlake in 1846.
Wow.
But
Damn.
James Timberlake in 1846 he was born. American lieutenant, police officer, and a farmer. Wow, that farmer's out pooning there, but hey, man, people have their ways, I guess.
1869, Emilio Aguinaldo, a Filipino general and politician who was the first president of the Philippines.
Cool. Anyways, in 1896, He Long, Chinese general and politician who was the first vice premier or
Premier
of the People's Republic of China. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that, but now I get it.
Yeah. Because they're not for the people, nor are they a republic. As I said, all the evil things use words to describe them that are the exact opposite of what they truly are, like Antifa. So, what a name, He Long. You know?
I was about to say that. At first, I was like, He Long.
He Long.
Bro, I didn't even recognize it. I was like, at the general part, I was like, dude, that's actually...
Table slapper. Moving on up to 1902, we have Johannes Brinkmann, a Dutch architect who designed the Van Nel factory. And I actually saw this from the source. It looks like a pretty cool factory. It's an interesting looking factory. I'd like to work there.
Huh. Anyways, in 1914, we got Donald Stokes. He's so stoked, man. Baron Stokes. Baron. Gosh, damn it. Baron. Damn it. Anyway, Stokes. English businessman. I bet he was so stoked.
Yeah. Oh, you know how they call those pizzas? Or how do you pronounce it? Rod Baron?
Red Baron.
You mean Baron?
Always pronounce it Red Baron, but actually I got one in the freezer.
Oh, man. You know I have GMOs, right?
I got Tombstone in mine.
I got Stater Brothers brand Craven. So. Moving it up into 1920, Fanny Waterman, an English pianist and educator who founded the Leeds International Pianoforte Competition. Competition. Oh. I'm never gonna be fancy. I have worker's pinky.
Kind of have your pinky up while drinking. Anyways, in 1924, we got L. Newharth. Oh, whatever his name is, or he or she.
Newharth.
Yeah, a U.S. journalist and author who founded, USA Today.
Yep.
Oh fuck. Oh man. That's great.
Also, in
In
1924,
1924, Evgeny Ostasev, Russian test pilot who was a participant in the launch for the first artificial Earth satellite.
I think that was
Sputnik.
Sputnik, right?
Sputnik.
Yeah. 1929, we have P. Ramlee, Malaysian actor, director, singer, songwriter, composer, and producer. That's 6 things. Dang.
Also, 1939, we have William Shatner. Oh, shit.
31, I believe.
1930. Oh, my God. You made a boo-boo.
Oh.
Okay.
I did?
Remember how we did, Brent Spiner and then Data?
No.
In one of our old shows?
You're talking to a stoner, dude. Like, I don't...
That's okay. William Shatner is, Captain Kirk. We could have did Captain Kirk's birth today.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh.
1931, we have William Shatner, Canadian actor.
Yeah. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Man, that's new to me, too.
Yeah. Well, same with Bruce Willis being German. Anyway,
I know, that's crazy yesterday.
Dude, my dad didn't know either. Like, everybody's just shocked about that. What the hell?
I'm shocked. He's German.
2 years later, in 1933, we have Abul Hassan Banisadr, an Iranian extremist and politician who is the first president... Oh, not an extremist. An economist. Sorry. Iranian economist and politician who is the first president of Iran. Who knows? Maybe he's an extremist. I don't know. Oh, Muffin. I'm so sorry.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
One of these days, I'm expecting just to hear the sound of a gun going off. Fuck this thing.
No, I'll be nice.
Okay.
You can have the next one.
Okay. Oh my God.
Galina.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'll take 1942.
Galina Gavrilona Kolchuganova. Russian-born Soviet pilot and aerobatics champion.
Yeah.
Aerobics, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Aerobics, yeah.
Aerobatics.
Enjoy this, Muffin. Enjoy.
Oh, he loves this every night.
Dude. In 1942, we got Dick Pound.
What was he?
He's a lawyer.
What was he?
He's a Canadian lawyer. Dude.
His name is Richard Pound.
Oh my God.
I feel bad for this guy, dude.
I don't feel bad for his wife at all. It must have been the happiest marriage ever.
Oh my God.
1947, we have George Ferguson, an English architect and politician who was the first mayor of Bristol.
Damn. Also, 1947, James Patterson, U.S. author and producer. Yes, he is. He made Alex Cross.
Alex Cross?
The Alex Cross books.
I don't recognize that, but I probably have heard the name a couple of times. Like, I have a billion names floating about in my head, most of which, obviously, I don't remember.
Two actors actually portrayed Alex Cross. Morgan Freeman and Tyler Perry. They both portrayed him.
1948, we have Andrew Lloyd Webber, an English composer and director. That is very familiar. I've heard that name, definitely.
A lot of movies. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of movies.
The Phantom of the Opera. Okay, that explains. Cats. Wow. Okay. All right.
Then we got 1959. We got Matthew Modine. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyways, a U.S. actor, director, producer, and a screenwriter.
Yeah. 1966.
Okay. No, I'm calling the next one.
Okay, yeah. 1966, we have Brian Shaw, a U.S. basketball player and coach. And the name is familiar for some reason. I'm not a sports guy, but I might have heard his name on the TV or something. Brian Shaw. Well, I found the strongman, Brian Shaw. 1966. Here we go. Oakland. Okay. He played for the Clippers. Okay, that's probably why. What year?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he was in the Lakers 2002, 2001. Okay, so that's why. Because I actually got into the Lakers for a little bit back in the day.
Damn. Okay, 1971. Keegan Michael Key, U.S. actor, comedian, and writer.
Yeah.
One half of Key and Peele.
Yeah, didn't we report on Key?
Jordan Peele?
Yeah,
Yes,
earlier. Yeah.
we did.
1976, Reese Witherspoon, a U.S. actress and producer. Have you seen Reese without her spoon, though?
No.
Moving on to the deaths, starting us off in 235, we have Severus Alexander, a Roman emperor. It's a kick-ass name, Severus. Actually, no, never mind. Snape, never mind. So, I redact my
No,
statement.
it's still a cool ass name. 1922, 1492, 29.
1421.
Well, 21.
Are you okay?
Yeah, Thomas of Lancaster, first Duke of Clarendon, English soldier and politician who was the Lord High Steward of England.
Yeah, you're having a number salad there, Mr. Biden.
Yeah.
18th. Go ahead, Muffin. Sorry, I almost took your turn.
Yeah, you're good. In 1832, we got John Wolfgang von Goethe.
Yeah, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
Oh, that was a weird ass name. But anyways, a German novelist, poet, playwright, and diplomat.
1864, Konstanty Kalinowski, a writer, journalist, and lawyer and revolutionary. But the source did not tell me where they're from, so let me look that up real quick.
Poland.
Poland? You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
right.
I can tell instantly by the last name.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
In 1931, James Campbell, first Baron Glenavy, Irish lawyer and politician.
1952, we have D.S. Senanayake, first Prime Minister of Sri Lanka.
Well, we got 1916. We got Jose Antonio Aguirre, a Spanish lawyer and politician who was the first president of Basque country.
Basque.
Basque country. Yeah. I don't know why I said can't. Oh my gosh!
You just have the muffin mouth. No worries.
Country.
You know, like, all the dryness from the lack of maple syrup.
1978, Carl Wallinger, German U.S. acrobat and tightrope walker who founded the Flying Waldas.
Yeah, Wallendas. That's the guy who fell between the two hotels we talked about earlier. 1985, Raoul Ubach died on this date. He was a French painter, sculptor, photographer, and engraver.
Damn. Also, 1991, Paul Engel, you are a novelist, poet, playwright, and critic.
I think a U.S., maybe. I don't know.
United Republic or something?
I think it's... Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Paul Engel. Paul Engel, he was American, a U.S., so it was just a bad misspell on my behalf.
Okay.
Mr. Muffin?
94, right?
Yeah.
1994, we got Dan Hartman, my bad. U.S. songwriter, singer, songwriter, and producer. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Dan Hartman. Like, isn't there like a Hartman or something like? I'm trying to see.
I think.
Like something to do with like Adult Swim or something, or some cartoon or some kind of network. Something Hartman. I think it's Dan Hartman. I think it's a different Dan Hartman. I don't know.
I think so. I don't know. Also, 1996, Billy Williamson, U.S. guitarist. No, he's nowhere near as retarded as Bill Williamson.
Bill Williamson, I'm calling you out. 1999, David Strickland, a U.S. actor. Wonder if he has anything to do with Strickland Propane.
Had nothing to do with Buck Strickland.
Yep.
Wait. Yeah, goddamn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby. Think it's 1 degree hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, you're talking to Dale. You're talking to Dale about that.
Oh, damn it, Dale. If it gets any hotter, I'm gonna cut off your finger
Oh,
with a
yeah,
circular
sure.
saw, I tell you what.
No,
2001.
that was Dale's dumbass.
Yeah. 2001, we have William Hanna, a U.S. animator, director, producer, and voice actor who co-founded Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, the good cartoons right there. Also in 2004, Min Yassin co-founded Hamas.
Mr. Muffin?
Yeah, so I'm just texting here.
Yeah, this one's Japanese for you, you weeboo.
Oh, fuck. Here, hold up. Okay, in 2005, we got Kento Tongue, Japanese architect who designed the Yoyogi National Gymnasium in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum.
Did you seriously mispronounce that?
Yep,
Hiroshima.
and I'm proud of it.
God, of course you are. Oh, wow,
Take pride in
this gymnasium is amazing. That is awesome looking. And then the Memorial Museum looks pretty cool, too.
takes a fucking nuke to make it look better.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, what?
And last but not least, in 2012, we have Mickey Sullivan, a U.S. baseball player and coach, and once again, that name is familiar for whatever reason, but died to date back on that time. And that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in, which also include
Showing TV on Twitch.
and everything Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific time for the most part, which is also
2 to 5 Central.
which is, noon to 3 Pacific. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Ao Xander.
Luck.
Kyle. By Bushi.
And you are you. Until you see us tomorrow, toodles! Oh yeah, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs up, subscribe. Blah, 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 blah.